Honorable Rector, Professor Ludmila Ivanova-Gerasimova, Vice Rector, Professor Tamara Denisova, Dr. Nadia Pakhmutova, Director of Homeopathic Medical Center, Professor George Vithoulkas, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to all of you to this special ceremony that is dedicated to the nomination of Professor George Vithoulkas with the title of Honorary Professor by the State Autonomous University of Chuvash Republic.
I'd like to greet you in the Chuvash language. Ergun buldur sere hizeple yoldaşsam. I'd like to say a few words about the Postgraduate Doctors Training Institute, where I work as a rector during 17 years. The institute has been training the doctors since 1999. The institute is licensed by the Ministry of Education and Science of the Russian Federation. According to the license, the institute trains the postgraduate medical residents and doctors. The target is to reconstruct the forgotten chapters of healthcare development in Chuvashia. Since 2011, foreign medical residents from different countries have studied at the institute. In 2015, the agreement for the provision of services with the International Academy of Classical Homeopathy, founded by a world-known professor, Josh Vithoulkas, was signed in Cheboksary. Within this agreement, 66 doctors from different regions of the Russian Federation have been trained at the institute. According to the decision of the academic board, the title of Honorary Professor is awarded to George Vithoulkas for significant contribution to the development of the world medical science, outstanding scientific works, and creation of the Scientific School of Homeopathy, considerable personal contribution to the development and introduction of new educational programs, higher competence, and great contribution to the training of competence health care manpower. Dear colleagues, it is great honor and pleasure for me to present Professor George Vithoulkas this professor's gown, medal, certificate, and memorial sign.
Professores, vivat membrum Dear Rector, Professor Ludmila Gerasimova, Vice Rector, Professor Tamara Denisova, Director of Homeopathic Center, Dr. Pakhmutova, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. This is the year of Russian-Greek friendship, and it is my hope and wish that will last forever. Our therapeutic methodology is one of peace and balance that can bring union, love, and friendship between people and countries that today are in a turmoil and aggression. The homeopathic therapeutic methodology, established 200 years ago by German physician Samuel Hahnemann, is starting now to be accepted in several open pioneering medical institutions of high learning. The world today is desperately searching for avenues to improve the treatment of degenerative diseases. It's therefore a blessing that medical schools are opening their doors to a therapeutic modality that can bring about a feeling of integration and serenity within suffering individuals. This decision of the Senate will be hailed by us as the turning point in global medicine, and I'm sure will be appreciated highly by future generations. This affiliation with your esteemed university, the State Autonomous University of Chuvash Republic, I hope to become a workplace for new knowledge and exciting discoveries, not only for homeopathy, but for medicine in general. I do wish and hope that with the collaboration of your excellent university, in which I have the honor today of becoming one of its members, will manage to establish a pillar of resistance to the spreading of chronic diseases that have befallen in excess the last decades on the human race. In conclusion, I want to say that the ideas I spoke about can be considered as assumptions, and as such, I put them forward for consideration and research. In this excellent medical university, we could devise interesting experiments to investigate these ideas further. Thank you for listening to this rather strange, rare, and peculiar view of therapeutics. But I can assure you it is coming from my experience and true observations in this life of 55 years of practice that were full of challenges, struggles, fights, and conflicts, but did not stop me from promulgating what I always felt was a boon to humanity, given by this genius German physician, Christian Samuel Hahnemann. Thank you for being here today.
Глубоко уважаемый господин Vithoulkas,
Dear Mr. Vithoulkas,
Национальный совет по гомеопатии
National
России
Homeopathy
горячо
Council heartily greets you
приветствует вас,
as a recognized leader
признанного лидера
of the
мировой
world
гомеопатии,
homeopathy and a successor
продолжателя идей
of
Ганимана.
Hahnemann's ideas.
20 лет
20
назад
years ago, a group of Russian homeopaths arrived in Alonissos to enrich their knowledge under your guidance.
и кроме того
And furthermore, to bring the knowledge in Russia, to use it in practice, to successfully promote the homeopathic method.
Уважаемые профессора,
Colleagues and friends,
сегодня я хочу
today
поблагодарить
I would like to
George
thank
Vithoulkas
George
за то, что
Vithoulkas
он
for
сделал
making
меня
me a happy
счастливым
person,
человеком. Потому
because
что
apparently
провидение
Providence
привело меня
brought
в
me into
гомеопатию
homeopathy, to
и на
this
этот замечательный
wonderful
остров.
island.
С тех пор я
20
приезжаю
years
сюда
with
уже
no
20
gaps
лет
when
без
Nadia comes here to
единого
the island.
пропуска. Потому
Because
что
the knowledge
знания,
that you,
которые
George,
дает нам
give
George
all of
Vithoulkas,
us bring
дают мне
such a deep
глубокое
satisfaction in
удовлетворение в
our
моей практике.
medical practice.
Я счастливый
I am a happy
человек,
person,
и
and
этим
this
я
is only
обязана
due to George
Джорджу
Vithoulkas.
I was deeply impressed by the eloquence, the original ideas, and the depth of insight that guided Vithoulkas' lecture. As a result, I left London and followed Vithoulkas to Greece and spent half a year there, which was to become the most crucial period for my development as a homeopath. Professor Vithoulkas emerged as a unique person with a deep understanding of the meaning of disease and health in humans, an understanding more thorough and comprehensive compared to most or at least many conventional physicians known to me. Galileo Galilei needed some 100 years to be appreciated. I'm glad to witness that for Professor Vithoulkas, the appreciation had already started.
I believe I will speak on behalf of all the Russian students of George Vithoulkas who is present or not present here in this hall. George Vithoulkas opened before our eyes a whole treasure of classical homeopathy. It was amazing for all us. And with great inspiration, we studied levels of health. We studied remedy reactions. We studied materia medica. And he gave us the whole set of knowledge how to treat people. And we became happy, as Nadia said, with this knowledge. And our patients are happy now. George Vithoulkas gifted each of us with a piece of his great heart. He gifted each of us with a piece of his wisdom and love. And we became, I believe we became ourselves a better people with this teaching. Of course, greatest thanks to George Vithoulkas, whom we love as sincerely as the children love their father.
When Professor Vithoulkas started to teach in Germany many years ago, the situation was completely different than it is today. Just imagine that in the motherland of homeopathy, a full educational program was not available. Homeopaths at that time had to gather their knowledge from various sources and put great effort into getting reliable information. With his charisma and impressive knowledge, he attracted a huge number of physicians to homeopathy during all these years. I really hope that it will eventually be discussed among all the different disciplines in medicine. Considering all this, it can be said that Professor Vithoulkas has re-established and further developed a scientific basis in classical homeopathy. He has influenced and inspired generations of successful homeopaths. Without him, homeopathy in Germany and in the world would not have the position and the standard that it has today. Impressed by his pioneering work, 33 German homeopaths had the wish to spread his teachings. I believe that all of us who came together today on this island, in this room, we also carry this potential within. We are blessed that we are living in a time in which a healer and a teacher of such caliber is active on earth. Let us honor him by putting our knowledge into practice with all the devotion that he shows us. This is the greatest recognition we can give to him.
Дорогой Джордж,
Dear George,
начну с того, что
I love you and respect you deeply. Communicating with you is every time an impulse for me. This is an impulse in my work. It gives me a possibility to continue my work, which I love desperately. Your support allows me to be more devoted to the field of work, which I've been doing for many years.
Dear ladies and gentlemen, we do hope that this day is a new day for spreading classical homeopathy in every corner of Russia, in every corner of the world. Thank you for being here with us tonight.
Well, I just want to wish that all this will not be in vain, that something tangible and something useful will spring out of this collaboration. I feel this, and I believe this is going to happen. Thank you for coming. Thank you.